This is Agent 001 from Autospies.com. We were originally supposed to be in Leipzig, Germany to give you this tour of the brand new Cayenne, but a little bit of a problem with a volcano and volcanic ash forced the event to be canceled, and now we're here in beautiful Alabama at the Barber Motorsports track, and I'm here with my good friend Michael from Porsche with this absolutely stunning redo of the Porsche Cayenne. Michael, take us around the car, give us some of the differences, what are the big changes, and why people want this new Cayenne.
Okay, Donald. Firstly, I would like to tell you a little bit about the design of the new Cayenne. We try to point out more the DNA of the Porsche, and as you see, the fender is higher than the hood. We have this new shape of the hood with a wing. We have the typical for Porsche, the air intakes. They are deeper than at the previous car, and we have this typical shape of the hood and the air intake. It's like a shark mouth, so it's more offensive, more elegant, more sporty in the front view of this car.
And we're looking at the Cayenne S model right now.
Yeah. If you look at the turbo, I can show you later. It's more aggressive. It has bigger intakes because it needs more air to run the engine.
And this time there's a new hybrid as well, which we're going to also show you a demo of and take on the track.
Yeah.
So let's walk around the car.
Okay.
Show me some of the other cool things. So we got some guys working on some nice Porsches here in the garage as we do this. Hey, the first thing I noticed, these wheels. If you're going to order the Cayenne, let me just tell you, you don't even have to think about the wheels. These are the ones you want. Which size are these, and what are these ones called right here?
This is the turbo lock wheel. It's 21 inches big.
And this one has the ceramic brakes in there, which, they're just beautiful on the track.
Yeah. Okay, so if you look at the side window, it's more elegant, it's more sporty. You see the increased borderline here, and the frame of the window is falling down here, so we have it's more elegant, it's more stretched than at the old car. A very important thing for us is the head on the shoulders theme. You see, if you come to the back now, you see that we shaped out this distinguished shoulder more than at the previous car.
But the most important thing about this new Cayenne that impresses me, that changes the game totally compared to your impression of the last generation, is it's lost a lot of weight, which is something I should do, but it's really been great. You've got about, what, 500 pounds you've shaved off the weight of this car?
About 500 pounds, so we wanted to make it more sporty and lighter, and we saved about netto, it's about 400 pounds. But if you consider all the stuff you have to put into the car to fulfill the legal requirements and the new product substance, it was about 500 pounds, which is a tremendous number for an engineer to pull out of the car such a weight.
So we're going to go on the inside and take a look and get a tour. We're looking at the 2011 Porsche Cayenne. We've seen the outside of this gorgeous new Cayenne, but it really gets exciting when we come inside the interior. I was commenting earlier that the second I sat in here, I got that great feeling, that rush, that I was in like an off-road Panamera.
We have taken over some elements of the Panamera, like the increasing center console. We have all the buttons and sitting like it's in a Cancun, so you're sitting like in a cockpit of an airplane. We have the chassis control buttons where you can control off-road or the on-road performance. We have totally new instrument panel, where we have in the center now the rev counter. As it has to be as in Porsche, the ignition is on the left side. We have a total new steering wheel with a minor diameter, so it's easier and sportier to drive. We have as an I option the possibility that you select or to choose an pedal steering wheel. So a lot of sporty elements, from the Panamera, you can now order at the Cayenne as well. And we took the grab handles, from the former Cayenne. We took it and put it as well to the doors, that you have this design element and this functional element as well.
So we need to turn this thing on and fire it up, and let's see this navigation, and let's see this thing light up. Got a nice touch screen. Look at the resolution on that. It's really, really crisp. It reminds me of my iPad screen that I'm using. It's much clearer and crisper than most of the navigation screens you've seen. And I also noticed, which we did a little video of this on the racetrack, we'll show it in action. Up top, it looks like there's a really cool compass in that spot where you'd normally see the Sport Chrono package on a 911.
Yeah. So we have in this car, we have the Burmester system with 1,000-watt performance.
Only 1,000-watt stereo? You couldn't have got 2,000? It's like the Veyron, the Bugatti Veyron of stereos, 1,000 watts. So we've got a beautiful, obviously beautiful dash here. We're taking this out, and one of the things in the Panamera, and I don't know if this is in the Cayenne, the navigation can actually display in one of the gauges here up on the dash when you're in the navigation mode. Does that also work? Oh,
yeah,
I love that. I think that's my favorite new feature, which it keeps your eyes on the road. It's really cool, and it makes it a lot easier to, follow the navigation without having to constantly look to your right. So I think that's a really great feature. I hope that makes it into a 911. We're not asking you to pre-announce anything coming new in a future 911, but I sure hope it makes it in there. That'd be a great, wonderful new feature. And I've been told that it actually would fit inside that dash area, but that's just a whole Auto Spies thing. So we're taking this out for a little bit of a drive. We're going to go on the track with it, and then we're going to give you an idea of what kind of things that this can do. But we're looking at the brand new 2011 Porsche Cayenne here on Autospies.com. Well, the song Sweet Home Alabama has a whole new meaning to me, where the skies are so blue. I'll tell you, they really are so blue here in Alabama. They're absolutely gorgeous. And we are at the Barber Racetrack, and we're in the brand new 2011 Porsche Cayenne on the track. And here's my buddy, my driver. Introduce yourself to the Autospies.com readers.
I'm David Donahue.
How are you, Dave? You're a professional race car driver from Philadelphia.
Yes, I drive the Brumos Porsche number 59 Daytona prototype in the Rolex series.
Well, I'll be able to remember that because that's my IQ. So here we are. We're in the new Cayenne. I mean, you've driven the old one. Give us the first impression where you see the differences in this new product and what you really like about it.
Well, I think this really embodies the changes that Porsche goes through with all their cars. They're more evolutionary than revolutionary, although there's quite a few differences in this car. It's a little bit longer. It's certainly much larger on the inside, much larger than you'd think the change in the exterior dimensions would lend itself to. So it's really fun to drive. We're so new to them, all of us here today at Barber Motorsport Park, and we're all learning things as we go, and I'm sure we'll learn even from you. So the car we're in now is a Cayenne S. It's a V8. It's got it's pretty loaded out with the air suspension, and it's got a dynamic torque feature where it actually helps steer the car around the corners using the electronic differentials.
And so that would be like an active steering system, yes, Porsche style.
You'll notice the difference when you get in a car that doesn't have it, a steel-sprung car like the hybrid car we have here. If you get out of that and jump into this, you'll notice right away the difference.
One of the other things I noticed is in this interior, I feel like I'm in a Panamera, even though I'm in an SUV. I mean, I love this, airline cockpit look. There's a million buttons, which I love. I think that's great because then you never get bored with your car. You always got something to play with. And it just really makes the car look so professional and very high-tech.
Well, yeah, I think they really hit a home run with the Panamera. A lot of people are giving rave reviews about the interior there. There are a lot of switches, but they are very logically laid out. You have your climate control in one section, your suspension settings in another section, and so forth. And once you know where your buttons are, assuming you know your car that you own, it's in your garage, you only have to know where the switch is once, and it's like riding a bike. You always know right to go to the door locks right here. The first time finding it might be hard, but after you know where it is, you go to it right away. It's a lot simpler than having to navigate even the touchscreen LCDs that are in the cars today. So you just go to one switch and be able to get the feature you want.
So one of the things that is really important to the readers, I think more than anything else, when you get in this level of expense, this level of exclusivity inside of an SUV, it really all boils down to we'll call it the peeing match between the competition and Porsche. What is it about the Cayenne, in your opinion, that separates it from a BMW X5 or an Infiniti Q or all of the other guys, the Audi Q7s, that they're trying to push a great car? They'll all get in and tell you how great their vehicle is. What do you see in this car that's different, that really makes it special over the competition?
Well, the great thing about the Cayenne, since it was initially launched, is it's right at home on the racetrack as much as it is off the road. You can't say that about too many cars. Especially too many SUVs. It's either really dedicated for the off-road or really dedicated for the on-road and track. Porsche takes advantage of its electronic expertise and its heritage in motorsport to be able to get a car that's capable on the track and also be able to have that same car, obviously you got to change tires and wheels, but be very capable off-road, which what we'll see later tomorrow as well. To be able to go through some pretty mucky mud and deep ruts and climb hills and go down hills all safely.
Well, we covered the Trans-Siberia Rally, so I've seen firsthand how the last generation vehicle did, and it was very impressive. I haven't driven this yet. I'm going to get to drive it soon, but one of the things I didn't like about the last Cayenne that I preferred the BMW X5 was it felt lighter and more nimble. They say this car's lighter and it has a different feel. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. They took nearly 400 pounds out of this car, and 400 pounds is nothing to bark at. So when you get it on the track, you notice it right away. Even if the car's got the same power, the performance is inevitably going to get better. Lighter's always better. And all the turbos have aluminum suspension components, which is optional in the other models, but they really have always had an emphasis on high performance on the racetrack, and I think this helps bridge the gap for pleasant on-road experience if you're just going to get groceries to pleasant, that's how we say, brisk driving.
Yes, well,
and then of course the real muddy, dirty, nasty stuff you do off-road in the woods.
Well, it's lighter. From the first generation car, it's also obviously a lot better looking. I was not a big fan of the original Cayenne. They fixed it a little bit in the refresh, but it still wasn't, really aggressive enough for me. The new car looks really great. We've got a lot of photo galleries. We're going to have a lot of images for you to make your own decision. We're in the new Cayenne. This is Autospies.com, and always spy before you buy. So inside the new Cayenne, the most impressive thing about this car is not only is it a crazy, amazing 500 horsepower sports car, but now we're going to take it off-road. And this fine young gentleman here who's going to give us this off-road tour, he said something pretty bold. He said for the first couple laps in this Cayenne Turbo, it will actually outrun a 911. And why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the superlatives about this car?
Yeah, what is most impressive, and again, I can safely say, without changing anything, we would outrun a Carrera on this racetrack, and that there is no other car that we could, without changing a thing on the car, go off-road and do what we are just about to do.
So they're going to unlock this gate for us, and we're going to do some pretty cool stuff off-road.
And there are little people with red eyes. Now let's stop here for a little bit. This thing is about 6 feet deep, so we need the windows up. We're gonna go in this. This is what they
I feel like I'm on Animal Kingdom.
It is all wild, and you get pretty dark in there. When we go in the 6 feet, all you're gonna go do is nice and steady, okay? Now, once you cross, I want you to stop on that hill.
Okay.
At what you judge to be the steepest place.
Got it.
Okay, go.
Okay.
6 feet of water.
6 feet. Straight in the
Try this in your Range Rover.
Look at that.
Wow.
And we'll stop at this, right there, stop. Now, foot off the brakes.
Put off the brakes. Heel hold.
There you go.
Wow. Look, Ma, no hands.
That's it. Off we go. How do you like that? 6 feet of water.
Wow.
Now the road will narrow quite dramatically. So you need to go as close as you can to the side you can see, which of course is your side. And hopefully by implication you clear the side you cannot see. In case of doubt, you go slower and have him help you spot. Power, we're 2000 RPM.
Yeah.
And these are not off-road tires. These are all-season tires. Yeah, mud and snow. So there's nothing that we have done here, change tire pressures, nothing. Go more that way. Big rocks this way.
What amazes me about this vehicle is, I mean, in most vehicles, when you get on a hill and you're at that level of incline, you basically panic. You're like, oh my God, I'm stuck here. I'm looking up at the sky, and this thing, nothing phases it.
Nothing whatsoever. And we're about to go and put it at a very, very precarious condition, sideways, and we would be able to open doors. We will open doors, where most vehicles, if you did dare to open it, you'd never be able to close it again, because the vehicle would flex and you'd never be the same.
You know, I love off-road. I'm a truck guy as well as a car guy, but this new Cayenne is absolutely blowing me away. I used to think the Range Rover was all that. I thought off-road, nothing could touch it. This new Cayenne, look at what this thing can do. Look at the angle. Almost at a 45-degree angle, and then no flex, you can open the door. Try to do that in another car without the car flexing. Amazing. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Not bad. Wow, that is impressive. So, we just finished this off-road course, and I gotta tell you, I was impressed with the new Cayenne, just driving it on the track. But the combination of the amazing track performance, the gorgeous interior, the outrageous, it's almost like out of this world 4x4 capabilities. This thing has really, you just have to drive one of these. You have to go through this, not just watch my video, but you got to take a test drive in this car. It is absolutely phenomenal. Best SUV on the planet right now that you can get. It'll be in dealers in June. This is the brand new 2011 Porsche Cayenne. There is no substitute. And remember, spy before you buy.
Autospice.com